That man already over there in the chat telling me I'm late. I said it'd be 2:15 today, man. I'm even a couple minutes early. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Game On. This is Crick's Corner. I am your host, Cricket from sportspicks.locals.com. And we back, y'all. We back. We've been kind of on a little lull here. We had all-star breaks for basically NHL and NBA. We just had a little college basketball going on, but even that slate's kind of slacked up just a little bit, drawing down to the end of the conference season. But everything is livening back up now. So I will be back with doing Crick's Corners on Mondays and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Well, usually 1 p.m. It's going to be any time between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., y'all. Just given on what happens on my Fridays and how busy I am and whatnot. So anytime between 1 and 3 there, like today, we rolling at 2:15. So it's good to see everybody. Hope y'all doing all right this afternoon. We got a big slate to break down, man. Not so much for today. We don't have a lot going on today. The NHL players are off one more day. They'll start back up. We got a full slate of that tomorrow, which we're going to look at. And what up, Bolshevik? How you doing, man? Good afternoon, sir. And good afternoon to Will. I see him over there already giving me a little shade in the YouTube chat. But good to see you guys. Hope you're doing all right, sir. And but yeah, we're going to look at the NHL slate for tomorrow because it is massive. And we're going to look at the college basketball slate for tomorrow, the lines that they have up so far. I do have a couple of college basketball games I like tonight. And I got a couple NBA games that I like tonight as well. We're going to take a little shot at them and see if we can't build some units back up, man. I will have Crick's picks. I'll start typing them back up and everything. I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do that because I don't have enough I like today that I really want to type all that up. But I'm still running through all the numbers, and I'll figure out exactly how we ended up on the Four Nations tournament. We didn't come through with either one of our picks to win it. We had the 1-unit play on Finland at 10-1, and then we had the 3-unit play on America. And we all know how that worked out last night. But we did wind up cashing in on a couple props there. That's kind of my thing, man. I do like Nathan McKinnon, the plays for the Colorado Avalanche, wound up being player of the tournament, all that. But scored the most goals. We had him most goals in the tournament for a half unit, plus 1,300. And then we had him to have the most goals on Canada at plus 550 for the full unit there. So we did wind up, I think when it's all said and done, the smoke clear, we're going to wind up being about even on the Four Nations tournament. So it'd be all right. Gearing up for the second half of the NHL season. I've told y'all multiple times now that I think the NHL is genius in putting this tournament right in the middle of the season like this, because now you got all kinds of people that was not excited about hockey that are excited about hockey now. And you're just gearing up for the second half of the regular season, kind of bridging into the playoffs there and the chase for Lord Stanley's Cup. And you got a lot more people that are going to be watching this stuff, I believe, than we're going to be watching it before. So great move by the NHL marketing team and all that stuff. I think those people are doing it the right way. That game's really starting to grow. It's really gained a lot of popularity just in the last couple seasons where I've been really witnessing this firsthand. You've seen the NHL, in my mind, grow quite a bit, man. There's a lot more folks talk to me about hockey now than ever did before. And I think that's a good thing because I do think they put one of the best products in professional sports out there. And that even goes all the way up to the damn NFL. Y'all know I'm a football guy, man. I love my football, love my college football. But the NFL is the NFL. But I think as far as professional sports go, the best product being put out there is by the NHL. That's what's the most exciting. I'm telling you, I would rather watch the two worst teams in the damn NHL play a game than watch the two best teams in the NBA. And that's honest. If you got to tell me to watch one game, I want to watch the two worst teams in the NHL play versus the two best teams in the damn NBA. Because NBA's got to do something. They got to do something. They really are struggling. I mean, it's almost one of those things that's too big to fail at this point, and they've got an international market and all that stuff too. So it's too big to fail. But the product, I mean, they've got to be losing some revenue at this point, dude. Because I don't hear hardly anybody. I remember growing up as a kid, man, people always talking about the damn NBA. Always. Everywhere you went. Nowadays, dude, I don't hardly hear anybody talking about the NBA. I don't see a lot of people wearing NBA gear. I don't know who's buying all the damn merch for these teams and stuff. But we'll just have to see. I think the NBA does have a lot of things they got to correct, man. I really, really do. And I think they could take a page out of the notebook from the NHL and looking at this all-star break and stuff like that. It'd be great to see one of those kind of little international tournaments, 10-day tournament. And like I told y'all yesterday on Pump the Brakes, obviously a little tournament like that for the NBA players is not going to be near as rigorous as you saw it be on some of these NHL players. I mean, some of these guys came in, I feel like they're more banged up coming out of the All-Star weekend than they were going into it. But it was a lot of fun to watch, man. It was exciting. I think the NBA could take a note there and maybe try to do something to make that a little more exciting. Give those guys a little something to play for, put the name of their country on the front of their chest, and give them a little pride there. But we'll have to see. I digress a little bit, man. But we are going to break down some NHL slates for tomorrow. We'll look at the big college basketball slate. I do have several games that I like there. Got a couple college basketball games I like tonight, and we'll give you those. And then we'll look at NBA tonight. This is one of those things, NBA and NHL. For the first week or so, we're going to have to kind of ease through it. I say ease through it, and I got a bunch of games I like. But we're going to have to kind of see how these teams adjust, settle back in. It will take a little bit. I'll tell you, in the NHL, I'm going to be looking at a lot of these teams that did not have the guys playing in this tournament one way or another. I mean, you're going to see probably when I pull up my NHL slate for tomorrow, I'm already liking a lot of teams that are dogs just because I know those teams are going to be well rested, and these guys are all pros. And I'm going to look at some of these guys that have been playing balls to the wall for the last 10 days for their country there and expect those teams to maybe have a little rust, man. You got your best players, and those guys are all the best players on their teams. You got your best players a little banged up, maybe moving a little slow, trying to adjust back into things, because there will be an adjustment period to those guys. They've been practicing for the last 10 days with the best players in the world, and there's different things you get used to, adjusting to different things that you're probably not going to get when you get back to your club team. So we'll see. I'm looking to fade some of these teams with big stars coming off this tournament right here. Because I'll tell you one I'm definitely going to fade is the Colorado Avalanche. They had a bunch of guys playing in that damn tournament, and I'm going to bet the damn Predators to beat them on the money line. I feel like the line's off, and I feel like it is due to the fact that these guys were just playing some pretty intense hockey for the last week and a half, while a lot of these guys were chilling. So we'll see. We'll look at that in a little bit, but I want to pull this story up first because I thought this is a little funny here. Rob, I wish my guy Pissant was in here, so I'll throw a little shade at him. Y'all know he's always been an Auburn and a Nebraska fan, which I also give him shit for that because I tell you, you got to pick one damn team. But I will give him credit. He has always been very loyal to both squads since we were kids, 7, 8 years old. He's always had him a Nebraska hat and an Auburn hat. But anyway, Nebraska nixes the Tennessee series, citing stadium renovations. Looks like we were supposed to have a home and home. This is for college football now. We were supposed to have a home and home with Nebraska, which normally would have been that was exciting. Back in the day, that'd be a big-time game. Hell, we played them in 97, Peyton's senior year. We played Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, and they beat us like a damn drum. They beat us like Ohio State did this year. The identical score, 42-17. So it would have been exciting to see that. You got two programs that were supposed to be back on the up and up. I'll be honest, my balls are a little ahead of the game as far as instead of Nebraska. Nebraska's been trying to come back. They hired Scott Frost. That was a disaster. They've had Matt Rule, who's now going to be in his third season, supposed to be having his guys implemented. But last year started out well, but then it kind of fell off a cliff. What up, Grass Guy? How you doing, sir? Good to see you, man. And but yeah, Nebraska started out all right, and then it kind of fell off a cliff. I do think they have a great quarterback, a guy that's going to be a future NFL quarterback, in Dylan Raiola. I really do like that cat. But it looks like Nebraska said, "No, we don't want to play, man. We're going to take our ball and go home." So they have nixed the series with Tennessee, citing stadium renovations. Football home and home football series scheduled for 2026 and 2027 will not be played after Nebraska opted out of the agreement. Tennessee Athletic Director Danny White posted on X that Nebraska called off the series and added that Tennessee is very disappointed by the cancellation, especially so close to the initial game in 2026. The teams had been set to play in 2026 at Nebraska and at Tennessee the following year. So here's what I hate about this stuff, man, because they plan this stuff years out in advance. Because these are big games, big-time matchup. That'd be a fun game to watch. Even people that aren't fans of either one of these teams, you're going to tune into this game for a little bit to check it out and see. You got, head coaches, story programs. They're going to be good athletes on both sides. It'd be great. That would be, you would see Nico Iamaleava and then Dylan Raiola. They might both be Heisman frontrunners that year. And that would be a hell of a game to watch. And now we're knocking it away because I think Nebraska knows they ain't in no shape right now to really play that game. We beat them like a drum right now. I just want y'all to know that. But this kind of sucks because now what we'll have to do, because most of these big matchups like this are planned years out. I mean, you're talking 5 to 7 years in advance. These matchups get planned. So these big teams, all the big name schools, their schedules get filled. So when a school does this like Nebraska does, where they back out of this and aren't going to play this game, now we'll have to wind up rescheduling somebody, and you're going to get another one of those games where we got to play a Western Carolina or Georgia State or somebody like that. No shade at those schools, but the fact of the matter is every time we play those damn games, hell, we played the hometown. I live in Chattanooga. We play the hometown UTC. We beat them, 69-0 or something else last year. We don't want to watch that shit. Me as a fan, those damn games ain't no fun for me, man. As a fan, I don't like watching my school play FCS schools just to win by 70 and all that shit. That ain't no fun for me. It don't mean shit. You can't even talk shit about that. So let's get them, B-Mac. How you doing, sir? But yeah, so when you cancel this now, it's going to have to be replaced with somebody, because instead of being like, you want to go out and find another big name school. You'd love to be able to go find another Big Ten school, whatever. But the reality of it, all those teams, those schedules are already filled now. So it's like, you're not going to be able to do, you're going to have to go take one of these smaller schools that you're going to have to pay $2 million now to come to your school. And you're going to play a game where you're going to win by 8 touchdowns. It's going to be over before midway through the second quarter. Nobody wants to watch that shit. And that's kind of a bummer. So that's the only thing I really have a problem here. And it says, in a statement, Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Denon explained renovations to the team stadium, which will temporarily lower seating capacity, ultimately led to the decision. See, I think that's bullshit. We are making plans to embark on a major renovations of Memorial Stadium that may impact our seating capacity for the 2027 season, Denon said. The best scenario for us is to have 8 home games in 2027 to offset any potential revenue loss from the reduced capacity. The additional home games will also have tremendous economic benefit on the Lincoln community. Well, let's hold on just a second. Let's pump the brakes right here, because he says that it may impact our seating capacity for the 2027 season. But it says right here that the initial game in 2026, the teams have been set to play in 2026 at Nebraska, which is apparently supposed to, before that even affects you. You ain't losing no revenue, because in 2027, when those things are going on, then you're supposed to be playing in Knoxville. So I don't know. The best scenario is for us to have 8 home games. So I guess that's what he's doing. I guess they're sacrificing the game in 2026. They're giving up a home game there, and they're picking up a home game in 2028. Well, here's the thing, though, bro. You're going to pick up a home game in 2028, and you're not going to make near the money at that game even with your limited seating and all that stuff. You're not going to make near the money at that game that you would have made if you had played Tennessee, because we'd have filled half your stadium with orange, just like we did up in Columbus. We buy our tickets. We follow our team. We love our football, man. We'd have been there, and you'd have made a shit ton of money. All that. We like to drink too. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I seen that, and I'm like, to me, you can say what you want. You can blame it on your stadium, your renovations, and all that nonsense. But here's the thing. If you're scared, just say scared. That's why I wanted my guy pissing in here, so I can throw a little shade at him, man. Where you at, Blue? You over there on X. My bad, dude. These are coming in crazy up top here. I didn't even see you over there, Blue. Man, good to see you. You're on the X side of things right there, and it's popping in at the top. I knew something crazy was going on with the chat over there, but I didn't even see you, man. I just seen you come in here. What you got going on? You said new information, so now looking like Cavs minus 8.5. Okay. Pistons team total over. Thunder over. And Golden State Warriors. That money line, he said Zion over 30.5 points and rebounds. And Governor of Georgia or something. I don't know what you're talking about there. But TV even in the pot robbing us. Yep, that's right, man. That's right. But how you doing, Blue? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, no, I saw this, and I just kind of chuckled myself a little bit. And I hate it, too, because like I said, now what this means is Tennessee for 2026, 2027, we're going to have to pick some, like, FCS school, or not even FCS, but a group of 5 school. You go down. It's going to be a game that we don't want to see, man. It's a game we don't want to see. The point spread going into is going to be Tennessee minus 24.5 or something. And that ain't a game we want to see. I'd much rather see us play at Nebraska and then have them come to town. Because like I said, in that first game, that would be next year. So that would be Dylan Raiola's junior year, be Nico's junior year. They could both very well be Heisman front runners, man. So, yeah, we about to start talking betting, y'all. All right, I'm tired of ranting now. Let's see. B. McCormick says Marquette money line. I like that too, B. Mac. I like that too. St. Mary's money line, Sacred Heart plus 6.5. I like Sparty too, man. Michigan State plus 2.5. I got them at 3.5 just a little bit ago. And then Pelicans team total over 115.5. Okay, man. This is weird the way this Rumble chat's doing. All your stuff's popping into the top, Blue. I ain't used to that. Let's see. You talking Epstein? Epstein loss might be released Epstein list might be released this Saturday. Whoa. That's the case. There's a lot of people sweating this week, man. Whatever. They all deserve whatever they get. And the grass guy's in here with you too, B-Mac. Let's get over here, y'all. We'll pull this up. There you are. That's better. I like that better, man. I like you on the Rumble chat better. It was doing something weird over here on the X chat, popping at the top. I couldn't tell where your comments were and stuff. So, yeah, I like you on the Rumble side over there better. We Rumblers around here, man. Let's share this, y'all. We'll start in the NBA because we got a lot more to talk about in the other two sports. It's going to be mostly tomorrow. So we'll go from NBA. We'll do college basketball. Look at a couple games I like tonight. Then we'll do tomorrow's so we can see if we can try to snag some of these lines before they act the fool. Let's see what ends this Saturday. So that's my guess. What you mean, Blue? What are we talking about? Oh, I got you. Yeah, never mind. We back to the Epstein list, whatever. Yeah, them people sweating it. Whatever. Fuck all those motherfuckers. They deserve whatever they get. Pieces of shit. First one tonight. New York Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. You got Cavs minus 8.5. Blue likes that one. Minus 110 at home on that. Minus 360 on the money line for the Cavs. Plus 285 for New York. You got a total of 240.5 in this one. I like the over in this one. I kind of backed off because doing that weird thing like the Grizzlies Pacers total did yesterday, where it was at 239.5 this morning. And I asked Will and Steps why it would be that high on two teams playing on a back-to-back and all this. And probably because they don't like to play defense when they're rested. And now they're playing a back-to-back right after the All-Star break, so maybe they feel like their legs won't be under them. So I don't think they're going to play defense, but I think they're going to score a lot of points in that damn thing. Neither team shot great last night. I think they're both on a back-to-back, actually. Knicks, man. I don't know. They got me last night, too. I think we just take the over in this thing, Blue, but it's kind of scaring me a little bit because it was 239.5, went up to 241.5 while we were doing the show this morning. And since it's gone back down to 240.5. And that's kind of like I said, that's what that Grizzlies Pacers line did yesterday. So that does scare me just a little bit right there, seeing it go back down to 240.5 because that Grizzlies Pacers game really never was even close to getting over. Now, granted, it's a bigger number than this, but I'm going to watch that one and see a little closer to time. If it goes back up, if it goes up anymore, if it goes to 241 or 241.5, take the over in the Knicks Cavaliers game. To stay in 240.5, bet at your own peril, man. And Cavs, you think the Cavs is the play? Blue thinks the Cavs is the play in that one. Just take the Cavs minus 8.5. Like I said, let me double check this real quick and see because I do want to know if the Cavs are on a back-to-back. I know the Knicks are on a back-to-back because I took their ass last night at the Bulls, or playing against the Bulls. They were at home, but minus 12, and they barely squeaked that damn thing out. So after I talked all that shit about how terrible the Bulls are, that's why we can't have a nice thing. Pistons team total. You like the team total over on that Pistons or the team total under, Blue? I don't remember what it was. Let's see. Let me look back at the top here. Pistons team total over. He likes. And so Cavaliers. Let's see. Last night we had Cavs did play. So yeah, both teams on a back-to-back. They played the Nets, and it was the Cavs minus 13. So that one hit right on. They pushed last night. I think you're probably right, Blue. I'll trust y'all's judgment more on that NBA stuff because it is. What are you saying there, Bolshevik? Oh yeah, they both both back to back. I got you, brother. Yep. Blue likes the Cavs. I was liking the over. I think I'm gonna stay away from it. I really do. I think I'm probably just gonna stay away from that one. But Cavs is the play. Blue says, and I may just ride with that. We'll wait and see. I got a lot of things that I might have to. I'm gonna have a lot of units in play tomorrow, y'all. Like I said, I'll have Crick's picks. I'll get it back and I'll get you all the results and stuff, and I'll type that out and make sure and try to get it released. It's tough for me to get it out by noon, but I'll try to get it out by at least I'll try to get it out by then, man. I'll give you all as much time as you can. Just be on the lookout between 11 a.m. tomorrow and noon, and I'll have Crick's fix out, and you might have to put some of them in quick. I think I'm taking the Wizards now. I am. I just decided because I clicked on it a little bit ago and it's 6.5, and me and Will were talking about the Bucks are on a back-to-back tonight. Are the Wizards on a back-to-back tonight? They are not. So you got Bucks on a back-to-back. That line right there has been creeping down. Talk about the Wizards only won 9 damn games all year long, but they are 3-7 in their last 10. That still sounds terrible, but if you think they've only won 9 games all year long, they've won 33% of their games in the last 10 games. So they're playing better right now. They have been covering of late, and I see this line. I thought this line should be a little bit bigger. Let's try to look in here and see if they got Giannis listed or Dame or any of those guys. Yep, Giannis is playing. I see no Dame. So no Dame Lillard, it looks like, but Giannis will be going. Tell you what you do is that's one of those games me and Will talk about all the time where you take the star to go off. Like you might want to bet, you can bet Giannis probably bet Giannis like 40 plus points and take the damn Wizards money line. And that's going to get you a juicy, juicy little parlay. But this feels like one of those games, especially with Dame out tonight, where Giannis is going to go off and try to do everything. But I'm sorry, when that guy does that, the Bucks are much better when he's being more of a, not just trying to take over the game and get it all on his own. Like when he's distributing passes, guys are hitting open shots, things like that. Usually when Giannis tries to take over a game and just be that dominant force, the Bucks usually end up losing, man, because they're not playing good team basketball. And Zion got no one to stop him. Pelicans, we'll get to that one in just a minute, Blue. We will get to that one in just a minute, sir. But yeah, no, I think I'm taking the Wizards not +6. And I'm telling you, I don't think you're a fool because that's gone down too. I think it was +210 just a little bit ago when it was 6.5. Now it's at the +190. I think you put the full unit on the Wizards +6. I'm going to, and then I might even put a full unit on the money line too. Half units probably you can almost get to the full unit profit if you get the half unit. So that's all right if you want to do that. But at least a half unit on the money line, and I like the Wizards +6 for the full unit. And then, like I said, if you want to get real crazy, I can't do it because I got all this other stuff pulled up over here right now, and I can't give you the odds. But maybe at the end I can remember, and we can look and see. But a same game parlay, take Giannis over his points, rebounds, and assists. Even take it up alternate a little bit, like another extra 5 or something. And on his points, rebounds, assists, and then take the Wizards money line, and you'll probably wind up getting 30 or 40 to 1 on your damn money on that or something. And just put you a little sprinkle on it, man. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Let's see. So Blue likes the Pistons team total over. I don't hate that, man, especially with Wemby out. That's going to affect that defense some. Spurs, they're on a back-to-back too, aren't they? Yeah, just won that close game with Phoenix last night, 120 to 109. It was 120 to 109. Oh, my bad, man. I said earlier it was 120 to 119 on the morning show. It was 120 to 109 yesterday. Okay. So because the total, I was thinking the total got over by a point. The total was 238 in that thing. So it was 120 to 109. That went over the Suns. You're probably right, Blue. I think you look to see the Spurs probably slack off a little bit today. Be a little, probably a little lackadaisical, a little sluggish there. Obviously, still kind of adjusting to the reality. They're not going to have Wemby for the rest of the year. So, yeah, I like the Pistons. You got the Pistons favored in that spot there. But, yeah, no, I think y'all like that too, man. I like that. Thunder to cover, he says. See, I go with y'all on this NBA stuff. Y'all know this ain't really my forte. I like the over in that Thunder and Jazz game. That's what I like, Blue. I think that's probably my best NBA play of the day. Is the damn Jazz Thunder over 235.5. Y'all know what that usually means. My guy Pissan I was talking about, he'll tell you. If I tell you I love something, you probably want to go the other way. But I do love this over in 235.5 in the Thunder and Jazz game tonight. It's up in Utah up there. All these cats should be rested. I don't believe either one of these teams played yesterday. Let me double check. Nope. Neither one of these teams played yesterday. Should all be rested up, ready to go. Wasn't too strenuous of an activity during the All-Star week, even for the guys that had to play. Expecting some more serious players to show up. Okay. Now that the games matter. You're right, man. We're at that time of the season where teams going to be jockeying for playoff position, trying to get in those play-in spots and all that. You got some teams that started out like gangbusters early on in the season, looked really great, and now kind of fizzled off. The Houston Rockets come to mind there. I was looking at this one tonight. I almost want to fade them. Against the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves about to make a push, man. I think Anthony Edwards, I think that's still a very good team. I think they've been kind of biding their time, and I think they are a team that's about to take off. That's a good basketball team, went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and I do think that is a team that is going to make some noise down the stretch here. So I think the Timberwolves are a team we look at. So that's one I could kind of get on board with tonight. I like the money line there. I got too many bets over here. It won't let me click no more. But I do like that Timberwolves money line. Probably, go ahead and take your +3.5 too, because weird things happen. But if you do the +3.5, I put the full unit on both of those tonight with a lot of overs. And yeah, and I'm going to watch this too, Blue. We talked about this a little bit more, and you agreed, and we never came back to it. But I think something we're going to look at too after the All-Star break, and I have to watch tonight. I don't think it scares me a little bit about that over, but some of these teams first came back from the All-Star break. A lot of games went under yesterday. I mean, if you look at the scores there's several of these games that wound up going under yesterday. Like you got that Grizzlies-Pacers game. That was 251, which is a crazy high total. It went under. Celtics 76ers, I think it was right on that number. It was somewhere between 225 and 228, I think. So it was right on the number. But a lot of these you see low-scoring games. I think that one was right on the number. But several of these games wound up going under yesterday. And I know that one was much higher. That one went under. But fade the Mavericks for the next 2 weeks, he says. You're probably right. We're probably going to fade them for a while. I know this one went under here. That one was real close. That one probably wound up getting over. But anyway, I'm just saying, a lot of these games right here, with these teams' first games back from the All-Star break did wind up going under by quite a bit. So maybe that's something we're going to be looking at going forward. When these teams come back from these breaks, it takes a little bit. Maybe everybody not inspired to play, but I think you're right, Blue. I think some of the bigger stars, and that's part of the reason I'm kind of on the Timberwolves train right now, is because I think Anthony Edwards is a stud. And you got, I do think that they will. It's gonna be a good deal up there for Minnesota. I think they're going to wind up making a late push here. I don't think they're going to wind up in the playoffs. I mean, in the play-in game. I think they're going to wind up locking up a spot there. That's what I'm saying. I think they're not a bad bet right now. We were looking this morning. They're not a bad bet to win the West at plus 700. I really believe that. It did help the NHL, man. That tournament did 100%. See, Blue. That's what I've been saying. I ain't gonna repeat all that again. Y'all done heard me say that 4 damn times in the last 2 days. But I believe that. I do believe that helped the NHL a lot, and I believe there's a lot of people gonna be watching hockey. Let's go over here to college basketball and look. That's what I'm on tonight for the NBA, man. I'm gonna leave that first game alone and just kind of monitor and see how the Knicks and Cavaliers look. Blue likes the Cavs pretty big in that one, -8.5, and that's probably the right side, sir. But I do like the Wizards +6, and go ahead and sprinkle on the money line too. And I like that over 235.5 in the Jazz Thunder game. And don't hate it if you want to bet the T-Wolves money line either. Tonight right here, not a big slate, there's a pretty big slate, but not a lot of games that I am into tonight. So this is your field, Blue. You showed us the parlay this morning. You like a lot of these more obscure teams here. What up, Mont? How you doing, sir? Good afternoon. Good to see you, brother. I do like Villanova right here tonight on this one. I know B-Mac likes the Marquette money line, and I think I told you earlier I did like that one. I liked it, and I was looking at it, and I flipped around, man. I saw that crazy stat the other day. Steps had sent me one where these ranked teams that are favored against unranked teams by less than 5 points were something crazy like 8 and 20 and 2 or something. So I think I'm just going to take Villanova. Villanova's been playing pretty good basketball. They did get the upset the other night, beat UConn. And I like Villanova in this game tonight, man. I'm going to take them on the money line plus 105. I totally see why you like Marquette, B-Mac, because I was definitely looking at that side first. But then that stat keeps popping in the back of my head. And like I said, still, it ain't 100%. So, 8 of those were winners. By 5, it makes me feel comfy. My projections. What you talking about there, Blue? What you mean? But yeah, Villanova tonight, I like the way they've been playing at home. It feels like a tough spot for Marquette. Marquette's still a very good basketball team, probably at least a Sweet 16 basketball team. Do love Shaka Smart, the head coach up there. But I feel like this is a good spot for Villanova, seeing the line the way it is right there. And then, like I said, going back to that stat. Oh, I got you, bro. But going back to that stat, man, I'm gonna roll Villanova tonight. I'm just gonna put the 1 unit on the money line. I'll be sick when Marquette wins it by 1 point, and I didn't take the 1.5. But it's hard for me to take the 1.5. I usually just wind up taking the money line in those spots. I will take the 2.5 because I do see a lot of games laying on 2. But that 1 just feels weird. But yeah, when Marquette wins by 1 tonight, I'll be sick. Just like Houston, 80-65 against Arizona State. Cricket. Michigan State, I'm taking Sparty tonight, man. I seen we had a new face hop in the chat this morning. Y'all know my guy Buku, big Spartans fan. And I do have a soft spot in my heart for him here. But this is a tough spot. They are going on the road. But this is Tom Izzo's time of year, man. I love seeing Coach Izzo get his guys ready to go. This is a team that I've been watching all year long because they always are disrespected early in the season, I feel like. They never really get I feel like the years that they are highly ranked are usually his worst years. But the years they're ranked top 10, they wind up having a really bad year. But the years that they're unranked, I feel like are the teams that some of his best teams. And, yeah, I like Michigan State too, Blue. I'm on Sparty tonight. I'm going to take the 3.5. I'm going to take the money line too. That's going to be a little 2-unit spot for me. I'm going to have 1 unit on the plus 3.5 and 1 unit on the plus 136 for Sparty right here. I just think they're playing better basketball than Michigan. I think they're a better basketball team overall. Now, it is tough. You got to go on the road there. It's going to be a rivalry game. They'll be rocking up there in that arena at Michigan. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We all got homies that are Sparty. Like I said, we had a new face hop in the chat this morning that was yelling that was yesterday on Pun the Breaks. Buku was in here with us, but it was in here yelling, go green and white. So, yeah, we on Sparty tonight, man. But that's the only 2 college basketball games I got for y'all tonight, man. I'm going to take Villanova money line plus 105. Sorry, B-Mac. Good luck to you, sir. I definitely see why you're on the other side. But I'm just I feel a little weird about that one. And then we're going to take Sparty plus 3.5. And then also take them on the money line plus 136. But now let's jump into tomorrow's slate, because tomorrow's slate what I want to talk about. This is what I want to talk about because we got a lot of games, man. We're down to the nitty gritty this time of year. Everybody gearing up, trying to get ready for March Madness, conference tournaments, and things. And we got great games littered all throughout. That's right. That's right. You got to be respectful once in a while. But tomorrow, man, I'll tell you, we're going to start it off. My Vols, right off the Florida State Louisville game. Don't have a big opinion in. Florida State's one of those teams I feel like no matter what I bet, it's kind of beating me right now just because I talk all the shit in the world about their trash-ass athletic program. But I'm not going to touch that game, but I think the play's Louisville. I know it's a big number at 14.5, but Louisville's playing pretty good basketball right now. I feel like one of the more underrated teams in the country. And Florida State, garbage. So I think the Louisville's probably the play there, but I am going to stay away because they have been kicking my head in lately. But let's talk about my Vols traveling down to Texas A&M. You got the number 6 ranked Tennessee Volunteers traveling to the number 7 ranked Texas A&M Aggies. I'm going to give you all a free pick from over at sportspicks.locals.com. Y'all can come over there and sign up at Sports Picks and get the great Robert Barnes official picks. And y'all, he is on a little run right now in college basketball. He is 8-0 in the month of February. He got 3 plays out for tomorrow that he really likes. I'm going to give y'all a free one right now. Maybe give y'all a little incentive to go over there and sign up and snag this man's picks. But he does like the Volunteers tomorrow, -1.5 at A&M. Uncle Bob is from Tennessee. We're both from Chattanooga, man. He's a big Vols fan as well. We love our Volunteers. But I'll tell y'all this. He don't really like to pick Tennessee and stuff all that much. And normally when he does take Tennessee, it's normally a pretty good spot because I get mad. I get frustrated because I know the man's sharp as a tack. He knows his stuff. And every time I see him pick against Tennessee anything, I'm like, damn, Uncle Bob, come on. That's our Vols. And it usually winds up being his side usually winds up being a winner when he picks against Tennessee. But when I don't know if I've ever seen him lose. I'm probably jinxing him. Probably doing that right now. Cricket commentators curse, you asshole. But no, I'm saying Uncle Bob, when he usually likes Tennessee, man, I'm telling you, it's usually a pretty good spot. And I was surprised to see him on this one. I really thought that I would see him on the other side of this one and on the A&M money line. But he does like the -1.5 for Tennessee. So there's a little freebie for y'all if y'all want his other picks. And like I said, he's 8-0 in February. You want his other picks, man, you come over, sign up, sportspicks.locals.com. But I'm on the over in this one. I know that's a low total. I know you got 2 great defensive teams right here. But I feel like I think it's going to go up some. I think that line goes up to probably 132.5, may get to 133.5. I don't think it gets higher than that. But I like the over in this one. It just feels like these games, y'all got to remember, I watch a lot of Tennessee basketball games. And I feel like these games, this spot, when Tennessee's playing another top 10, they're both ranked in the top 10 matchup, those games tend to trend over even when the teams are in. They've had a couple this year that haven't. But if you'll look over the last couple years, just that style, the way A&M is going to be playing, you got a close spread right here. So you do have the factor that it could possibly go to overtime. 130.5 is not a very big number. And I think it's going to go up a few points. So you probably want to go ahead and snag it now if you do like it. If it winds up going up 4 or 5 points, that may be one of those things where you flip to the other side. I don't think it's going to go up that much, but I do like the over in this one, man. This is going to be one of those kind of like that damn Houston-Arizona State game the other day where they're probably going to wind up landing in the mid-140s. So I do like the Tennessee Texas A&M over 130.5, -110 right there. Wisconsin and Oregon right here. Oregon's scrappy bunch, man. They can't make their minds up. Kind of peaks and valleys. They'll have a couple real good games there. And they'll have a couple games they'll lose to people they have no business losing to. I like Wisconsin at home. I've been riding this Badger train for about a month now. At home, they play very, very well. They do kind of have their struggles in spots on the road. They'll go on little they'll have shooting holes, 4 or 5 minute period in a game where they can't make a shot in some of those spots on the road. They don't normally do that at home. They normally shoot the damn lights out when they're in their arena, man. So I think Oregon traveling right here, stuff travel. They've been doing a lot of this travel the last couple of weeks. Oregon has. They got to be a little bit worn out. So I like Wisconsin. This one -8.5 looks like kind of a big number for some folks, but I honestly think it's going to go out, man. I think it goes out to 9.5, and it may even get north of 10.5. You might want to be careful if it gets above double digits like that. But I do think at 8.5 right now, I do think it's at least a double-digit win, at least a 10-point win for Wisconsin. So I do like the Badgers -8.5 at home against Oregon tomorrow. These are early tips, y'all. The Tennessee game, Tennessee A&M and Oregon, Wisconsin are both 12 p.m. Eastern time. So, but yeah, I'm on the Badgers in that one. This Mississippi State Oklahoma one, I can't really figure this one out. I don't know. The Oklahoma team was one of the last remaining undefeated teams in the country. and have really struggled since. Really struggled since. And I can't trust them. But Mississippi State had a couple big wins in a row. Went on the road last Saturday out to Ole Miss in the basketball version of the Egg Bowl, and they whipped Ole Miss at Ole Miss right in front of that home crowd. Man, them people was upset. But I expected them to have the letdown spot when they came back home to play Texas A&M on Tuesday or Wednesday earlier this week. And Mississippi State, A&M actually led by 1 at the half. I think it was 31-30 or something at the half, 34-33, somewhere in there. But A&M was up by a point, and then Mississippi State came out and took them to the woodshed in the second half, man. Wound up winning that thing, I think, something 70 to 54, so I think it was a 16-point win. So what up, J-Main? How you doing, sir? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing all right this afternoon. We're just talking a little college hoops, man, trying to figure out what we like for tomorrow. Maybe we can stack some of this stuff before these lines move. But, yeah, Mississippi State, like I said, a couple big-time wins in a row. And kind of expect them to have a letdown going on the road here. It just feels weird because as bad as Oklahoma's been playing, I do feel like Mississippi State should be a little bit bigger favorite in this spot. I feel like it should probably be more around 4.5, something like that. But when I see, when I see that line that low, it feels a little weird. If it was to, for some reason, I don't think it will, but if it was to flip the other way where it's like Oklahoma -1.5, then the play in that game is going to be Oklahoma. But right now, it's just too fishy for me. And seeing Mississippi State, as good as they played the last couple games, kind of start to expect a letdown spot at some point. But Oklahoma ain't been playing good either, so I don't trust nobody in that one. I'm leaving that one alone. West Virginia at Texas Tech right here. I think this line's going to go down, y'all. I just think that's too many points. West Virginia has been solid on the road, too. They got a good win at home the other night against Cincinnati. And going on the road, Texas Tech here. Texas Tech looking for a bounce-back spot. They did lose earlier in the week at TCU, so it does scare me a little bit, and I haven't decided for sure if I'm going to wind up taking this one yet. I want to because I think the line's going to move down. I think it's going to get down to somewhere around 9.5. Texas Tech -9.5. And so I kind of want to take it for the extra value right now, but I haven't decided yet. I'm probably going to watch it for a couple more hours before I bet it. If it stays at 11.5 for a couple more hours, if it goes down to 10.5, I'll probably bet it right then because I think it'll keep going down. But 11.5 right now, I do think that's a lot of points to give a West Virginia team. It's been scrappy. Texas Tech coming off that loss the other night at TCU. Still a very good basketball team. Got to have revenge on their mind here. Going to be playing at home. So that's the only thing that scares me with that one. But I do think that's a lot of points to be given a pretty scrappy West Virginia team their own right. Blue says, I won in the morning. Called it out too well in my head from another show, a giveaway. I think it's winnings of consensus parlay card. Got 4 teams today. Oh, you've been putting consensus parlay cards together from what we're saying on the morning show and your thoughts and stuff too, man. I like them consensus plays. And J-Main says, none tonight. You talking about you ain't got nothing you like tonight, J-Main? Like I said, there's a couple out there tonight, man. But tomorrow is when everything gets cranked back up. Oh, okay, I like that, Blue. I like that. Drop that little consensus parlay you got in the chat. I know you and Steps both on Right State tonight, man. And from other shows too. Oh, man, I love that, bro. You got to start sharing that on X, man. Just tag all of us. The different shows that you listen to, man. Tag all of us. We might have this little brain trust there, man. Let's see here. So, yeah, West Virginia, I think that's too many points right now, but we're going to monitor that one. Iowa State, Houston. I'm taking the over in this one. I'm taking the over. It's 2 great defensive teams, man. A lot of people, all the experts out there, everybody going to sit and tell you, take the damn under, take the damn under, take the damn under. Just like they told us the other day in that game with Arizona State. They said it was the same number, identical, 134.5. Our projections tell you it's supposed to be 129.8, yada, fucking yada, and all that. Take the damn over in this game. Don't mess around with it. Take the over in this game. It's going to be very similar to what you saw the other day. This one could actually wind up taking off because even though it's a big spread for Houston, this is an Iowa State team that's very good and been ranked around the top 5 all year long. And I think that might be too many points for Houston to be given that Iowa State team. So I think it's going to be close. I think it could wind up possibly getting to overtime. You've seen that with a couple of Houston games this year. They wind up getting to overtime, and then both them teams will score 100. So I think that number is way too low for this game. I think it does wind up going up just a little bit, maybe up to possibly 136.5. Probably not any higher than that. It would surprise me. If it gets any higher than that, bet the damn house on it because that means they're scared of it. But I don't think it's going down. And if it does, I still ain't scared of it because it ain't going to go down that much. If it goes down, it'll go down a point at the most to 133.5. And I'm tired of I've been telling myself for weeks to do this. I'm tired of letting people like Steps talk me off of it with the pro reports. We're taking Iowa State, Houston, over 134.5. That's going to be one of my best plays tomorrow, man. Atta baby Blue. You listen, don't you, man? I don't know what you're supposed to do with let's see, Ole Miss and Vandy here. Vandy's got they're a weird team at home because they got that weird ass court. They got that court where both teams, the benches are at the end of the court instead of on the sides there. You're like up and under the goals, and it's like raised up. It's a weird. Yeah, that's right, Blue. You already know, man. 3 hours later, 100%. I know. I want to get in here and beat my chest and tell y'all like hell with it and just be stubborn on some of these. But I feel like every time I do that, I have nightmares. I know Will's lurking somewhere to clip it, man. You seen that one? God, dude. I can't believe I didn't put $1 on it. Every time I tell y'all I'm going to put at least $1 on that, and I mean to go back and do it, but my list gets too full over here, and I can't keep them saved, and I never remember all that. No way I can remember the 40 different things, but, God, if we just put little sprinkles on those, bro. Sporting said, don't listen to Steps, this stats and pro reports. That's right, Sporting. Hey, Steps loves you, Sporting. He is your biggest fan, man. I'm telling you, if you did sell your picks, you might could sell your picks just to Steps. Just stop putting them on action and everything. You just sell them just the Steps. He'll buy them. He's your biggest fan, bro. I told him, I was like, man, we know that man's sharp as a tack. He's one of our folks from over at Sports Picks, man. We ain't got nothing but sharp folks over there, man. So he says you've been crushing it, though. Yeah, who's a winner tonight, Sporting? Give me a winner for tonight, man. I need a winner tonight. Where we at here? Where we at? Let's see. Ole Miss Vandy, I don't know. Weird court. I don't like betting anybody to beat Vandy at Vandy just because I never know what they're going to do. And Vandy, that's another scrappy bunch. They're not, don't get it twisted. They're good, too. They're just in a really gauntlet of a conference, and they've had some tough spots on the road there. So, but they beat my Vols in Nashville by 1 point. Now, we had to come back in that one, but then they was up on us by 16 when in Knoxville just a couple weeks ago, and we had to come back to win that one. So don't get it twisted. Vandy's a scrappy bunch. I feel like plus money at home. You got to be careful with that. Did the stream freeze, man? If it freeze, y'all let me know. Somebody let me know what's going on. I know Rumble's been having some funny stuff going on. And if it did freeze, you may just have to swap around. Close your app out. Just, close it out and open it back up or something if it froze, Blue. Probably can't hear me if it did. But Oklahoma State and Kansas. Boy, good to go. Okay. Kansas is all in a world of trouble, man. Sporting says, learning to read the tea leaves, when to fade, tell, or leave things alone. That's the biggest thing, bro. That's the biggest thing. You got to learn. That's one of the things that I know. Y'all know I give Steps a lot of shit. It's because that's my guy, man. I'm always going to mess with him, stuff like that. But I have a lot of respect for Steps and the way he does gamble on this, because the big key to being successful at this stuff, y'all, is being disciplined. You got to be disciplined. You've got, especially if you've got access to these books, you got 100 million things out there you can bet on in every game and every sport, and sports you don't even know shit about you can bet on, man. So you got to be careful, because it's real easy to get yourself in trouble. The worst days I have are usually the ones I have the biggest cards, because it's really tough to beat these things on a consistent basis, man. So you got to have that discipline, like Supporting saying, be able to read between the lines, find the spots that look funny. Why does it look funny? Because the book knows something we don't know. We don't care what it is. We just know that they know something we don't. Like if a bunch of money's coming in on one side, but they're still moving the line against that side. Like we know the book knows something, and they're just trying to suck more money in there. Like I've told y'all 1,000 times at least. They didn't build those big, shiny buildings in the middle of the desert off winners. So you got to learn to read those things, man, and see if something looks funny. If it smells funny, it usually is funny. There's a reason for it. You don't have to know why. Just roll with it. And then picking spots right there, when to fade a team. Teams on bad runs and things like that. That's what I'm really looking at in the NHL slate, which we'll hop into in a minute. But I'm really looking at a lot of, fading a lot of these teams, like I told y'all, that have coming back, got players coming back, all their stars, because everybody that played in that Four Nations tournament is a star on their team. That's the best player on their team. So you're about to go back, and you're going to have all the best players that have been playing. Not all these teams have had guys playing. So some of these teams that have had their stars going balls to the wall for a week and a half now, I'm looking to kind of fade those teams for the next week or so till these guys get refreshed and all that. Korean baseball. You bet Korean baseball? Sporting. Lost some money betting on Russian table tennis at 3 a.m. Need to stay away from things like that. Yeah, see, those are fun, man. Those are fun sometimes, and don't get it wrong. But I've told y'all before, Buku used to be real big on the KHL. He loved betting the Russian hockey league that, like I said, I don't think they'll let you bet it right now. Or whatever, maybe they do. I don't know. He don't bet it no more. I finally talked him off that damn ledge. But that damn KHL hockey and then Korean basketball, your Jiangsu Dragons and things like that, that shit can get you in trouble. Table tennis, as long as I could watch it, Sporting, that would be all. As long as you didn't put no crazy amount of money on it, $5 or $10 is worth that just to watch. Those guys are incredible. they take it. It's incredible, bro. It's incredible. I'm telling you, I love some ping pong, man. I love some ping pong. Played some ping pong on Buku's birthday a couple weeks ago. Love it. But yeah, that shit's fun to watch. As long as I can watch it, I don't even mind you betting on that, man. Give me some angles. But yeah, you just got to be disciplined, man. Like Sporting was saying. No, learn when to read between the lines when things spell funny. Don't overextend yourself on bets you shouldn't be. Learn when to fade certain teams and learn when to stay away altogether. You ain't got to bet them all. Even right, you can bet on rock, paper, scissors. I ain't trying to do that. Rochambeau. Let's see here. Georgia, Auburn. Like I said, Oklahoma State, Kansas. I don't know what you want to do with that. Kansas is in a bad way right now. Oklahoma State's been terrible all damn year. But they've also showed up in a couple spots I didn't expect them to show up at. Wound up covering lines. I didn't think they added prayer at covering. But 16.5 feels like a big number. But Kansas, they should be geared up and ready to go. Bill Self challenged them. Here's one thing where you look at this one. Bill Self challenged them the other night after they got whipped. Well, they got beat by 34 or something. At damn BYU, they got beat by 30. And he said that they're kind of weak-minded. They got a lot to figure out. They're not where they need to be right now. This is a team that came in, if I'm not mistaken, this was the preseason number 1 team in the country. So you come in like that, you got all the expectations. Everybody's expecting you to cut the nets down in March, and they haven't looked nowhere near that. They look like one of those teams that will do good to get out of the first round because we know these years like this for Bill Self, but he's got these teams middle of the road like this. They love to choke in the first round. Yep, BYU's playing well, man. They got them a tough one tomorrow night too. We'll get to that one a little bit, Blue, because I'm thinking I'm fading BYU tomorrow night. They have played well the last 2 games. So Kansas, do what you want with that one. I ain't touching it. Auburn and Georgia. I mean, Auburn keeps having these big lines right here, and I think Georgia's luster's kind of wore off. They started off well early on in the season too. They got the young freshman that's a big stud, a high NBA draft prospect, and all those things. But I feel like Georgia always has like one of those guys. Like when they had Anthony Edwards, they have one guy that's a freaking stud, and they try to run everything through him. But some of the luster that's kind of wore off, and they have struggled on the road too. But 17.5 is a lot of points, and that's one I'm going to stay away from too. Total's right around probably where it should be. If the total comes down anymore, I think you look at the under because of the blowout factor. Auburn could beat them by 20 and just smother them defensively. And if they take that freshman out of the game and don't give him any opportunities, I mean, he's a big guy. But Jemiah Broome is one of the, if not the best player in the damn country. So we'll just we'll have to see on that. But if that line goes down like 147.5, you might want to be looking at the under in Georgia Auburn. And Peaks and Valleys. Peaks and Valleys, you're right, Blue. I like this one right here, man. I like it even more now because it's already gone down. I was looking at it earlier. It was SMU plus 2.5. And it's a good Clemson squad. Shout out to our guy, CU. Loves his Clemson Tigers. But this SMU team's pretty good too, man. And I saw him at 2.5 there. I'm just going to take them on the plus money on the money line. I was looking at the 2.5. Told you I'm weird. I like taking those. I don't like taking the plus 1.5. But now it's gone down to 1.5. I will totally just take the money line. But I think the money line was plus 114, I think. Plus 114 or plus 110 before it moved. And I like SMU right here in this spot at home. It's a game they should be hyped up for. They know they got a good squad coming in and been playing well. Clemson definitely capable of going in and win that spot, but I would consider Clemson. I don't believe either one of those teams is ranked right now. I have to double check that. But that's just a spot where I feel like SMU can take advantage of the home court right there. Like I said, it should be a game they're focused up for. A little later start time. And looking for Clemson to drop one of those. They've been playing awfully well lately, too. Any thoughts about LSU and Florida tomorrow? Well, let's talk about it, sir. We just got there. We got LSU plus 9.5 at home against the Florida Gators. Plus 320 on the money line for the Tigers and minus 410 for the Gators. Total of 152.5, minus 110 both ways in that one. 6 p.m. start time for this one tomorrow night, Eastern. I do not have a big opinion in that one. Like I said, Uncle Bob does have a pick in this game, but I've already gave away one, so I can't go giving away all the picks there. But he does have an opinion in this game that he likes, and I just don't know. I don't know. I will say that I was kind of looking the other way than what he likes in this one. And when I saw his side, I'm just like, well, I don't know. I don't want to bet against that man right now because he is on fire. So he don't mind, man. He don't mind. He knows I'm just shoot. He damn sure don't mind if I'm just giving y'all winners. That make you come over there and pay for the rest of them, man. But Yeah, so I don't really have much of an opinion on that one supporting. I'd say you just ride with our guy Uncle Bob on that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone, or I'll probably just I'm betting his picks too now, like all the ones because he doesn't have a whole plethora of those. I've been betting his college basketball picks too, so I'm just gonna ride with him on that one. But y'all can go over there and sign up for those, get those if you like. We do have the system play that we let's see what's Bolshevik's got to play. He says Giannis 35 plus points, just moved from plus 180 to plus 240. That's not, we don't love that. We don't love that, Bolshevik. Maybe that could be something. We'll look at it in just a second. Let me get over there real quick. I'm gonna look and check for you. Maybe that means they were considering Dame. The line hasn't moved. And I still see no Dame listed, so I don't know, bro. The line hasn't moved or anything in that one, so I don't really know why that was. I mean, maybe. I mean, he's still listed as he's the top first point scorer. I mean, it's Giannis. That doesn't mean it's a loser, man. Doesn't mean it's a loser. And which one are you talking about, Blue? What are we talking about now? Are you talking about Giannis or what game are we talking about now? But yeah, that Florida LSU game, I'm gonna leave that alone. But we got a system play, y'all. Y'all know I'm betting this damn thing. I'm thinking about yeah, you never can tell with load management. I'm thinking about putting 5 units on this damn over in Kentucky and Alabama tomorrow. Look at that total, y'all. 178.5. Y'all know I ain't scared of that damn thing a bit. Well, I'll tell y'all, they're gonna score 200 in this damn thing. I told you this last time they played when it was the number about this. I don't think it was quite this high. It was real close to that. It might actually have been 179.5. And they scored damn near 200 in that thing. I'm telling y'all, these are auto bets. When you see totals between teams like this, be careful with the smaller schools because you will find some smaller schools that get these totals up here like this in the a low 170s, stuff like that. Some of those will go under. I never see these totals like this up in the 170s with 2 ranked teams that don't go over. I'm sure it's happened. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I can't tell you the last time that I didn't see one of mine go through, and I auto bet them. I've been auto betting Alabama overs for, 2 damn months now. I saw that train coming back in December, and I've been riding this wave forever. And like I tell y'all every time, you ain't going to win them all, but you're going to win more than you don't. And this right here, I feel like is money on the floor, and there's going to be so many people scared of it. There'll even be a bunch of money on the people in the under saying, oh, they got to go under. That's so many points for a college basketball game. They only play 40 minutes, yada, 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 whatever. It ain't when Alabama's playing 40 minutes, it ain't the same as everybody else playing 40 minutes because they're going to get so many shots up, man. So many shots. But yeah, that's right, Blue. I'm telling you, just hammer it. I'm telling you, I'm thinking that's going to be the first. I don't think I've had a 5-unit college basketball play just yet this season. And it's about time for those because we're getting down to that part of the year where I do start to like some of these things a little better than others because we've been watching these teams for a couple months now. But I love this play tomorrow. And this may be my first 5-unit college basketball play of the season on Kentucky, Alabama, over 178.5. Duke and Illinois. Will was talking about this morning. This kind of got me intrigued with all this he's talking about. Illinois coach talking about the illness they got going on. We know with some nasty flu bugs and all that stuff been going around the country. And Illinois apparently has had some of that. And they have not. It makes sense because they have not played well the last 2 or 3 games here. And now they're going to go and play Duke. It's showing Illinois as a home team here. But if I'm not mistaken, excuse me, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, Will said this will be played in the Madison Square Garden tomorrow night. So they're going to have Cooper Flagg, who you know is a monster, projected number 1 pick in the NBA draft next year, as long as Duke don't pay him more than the NBA can. But you know he's going to want to come in, show out, be on the big stage up there in New York. Illinois having those struggles. They're not playing great, and now you've got the sickness bug on top of all that too coming in. Kind of hard to expect you to go in and to, play one of the top 2-3 teams in the country. Depending on what happens with Auburn down the stretch, they could very well be the number 1 overall seed in the tournament. Duke could be. So I think 10.5 right here is too low. This feels like a 15-plus point win for the Dukies, and they may really in this one because they're going to be hyped for it. Like I said, on a big stage, prime time, everybody going to be watching. They may absolutely blow the doors on this thing. This may be a 20-plus point win for Duke in this thing. So I'm going to look at that tomorrow. I do like Duke right here, hearing the news about Illinois team struggling with all the different sickness that is going on. But I do think Duke, that Will might have an angle on that next week where we might want to fade Duke. It's going to sound crazy because they're playing at Miami next week, and Miami ain't no good, y'all. It's probably going to be Duke minus at least 14, 15.5, something like that. we might want to take Miami with those points because there could be something to this. They get out there, maybe some of those bugs get passed back and forth. It happens, man. Weird shit happens. I know that may sound crazy. It may sound like we're reaching there, but I'm going to have to see that line in that Miami game next week because it might be one where we take the points with Miami in that one. Arkansas, Missouri right here. I like both these teams, man. Calipari's squad's really looked a lot better since going down to Rupp Arena and getting that big win against Kentucky a few weeks ago in his return to Rupp. Then also went on the road and got another big win against was it Texas, I believe. But they played well the last couple of weeks. Missouri is one of those surprise teams in the SEC all year long. Really like the head coach from Missouri. Believe in what that guy's building there. But hey, there's Will. We are live, man. How you doing? But yeah, I like that Missouri team. Got a couple little sprinkle tickets on them to make a run in the NCAA tournament. And they are going to be slightly favored here, but I like Arkansas at home in this one. Another one that the line could wind up going down a little bit, may even be one of those where it winds up flipping around to -1.5 the other way. So I'm going to take Arkansas on the money line right now at +105. Expect the home court advantage to come through. And like I said, Missouri been playing great basketball. I'm perfectly capable of going in there and winning this, but this is another one that I feel like on a neutral court, this line should be a little farther out there. It'd probably be -6.5, 7.5 for Missouri on a neutral court, in my opinion. And seeing it at 1.5 right there feels a little low for me, and I think there's a little value on Arkansas plus money at home. All right, and there's a late game tomorrow night, Arizona, and there'll be a lot more games than this, y'all. These are just the lines they've got up for right now. A lot of the smaller school lines have not been put up yet, but BYU at Arizona. Blue was talking about a little bit ago. BYU been playing very, very well. Beat Kansas like a drum the other day. Hey, man.
I just feel so honored to be here today, Crick, on Crick's Corner.
Bam.
It's a nice-looking corner you got going here.
I feel honored to have you, sir.
Thank you. I hope I'm not interrupting.
You're not at all, bro. Come on in here and hang out with me, man.
I had to I gotta do some shit. I just got the boys down. But
you're good.
They're down now. I got like 20 minutes, so I guess one of the girls are gonna get up. Wanted to just show something real quick.
Show me, man.
I forgot to show it today on the show.
Yeah, dude. Let's go.
Well, now listen, the new ones I corrected. These ones are a little too low for my liking. The new ones are up here.
Right.
It'll be up here.
Is that as big as we can get the font?
Yeah.
Surely,
but when it's up higher, I think it will look better. But I wish it could be bigger.
It does, but surely that's something we could talk to these folks and work out. I don't feel like that's a hard to fix, especially if we start to where we're selling more and more merch and stuff like that. I mean, when you want some ideas from the folks, can we get the font a little bit bigger? How hard is that?
I don't know, but there's a little box and there's only the
no. That's what I'm saying. Do we need a comment box where we can recommend some things?
Well, we got to start selling some. You know, I wore this out today to the store. I looked at my wife before I left. I go, look, I match. She's like, yeah, you do. And I'm like, what? A little much?
Little nerd, man. You should at least put the other hat on. It's got the football on the game on. Match,
I'm
bro.
like, listen, you're just worried. She goes, I'm not worried about shit. I go, you're just worried that, everyone's going to recognize me. Your Will from Game On.
Famous. That's right, man.
Girls are going to be all over you, chasing you and whatnot, or chasing me. You know what I mean?
I'm like your brother-in-law being at his buddy's house and hearing us in the background talking. Yeah. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, what? Exactly. Right. I go, I'm, and she's like, that's why she sent Batman with me. Did you see that?
I did see that, bro. I did. That's awesome.
Don't worry, I'll send Batman with you to protect you.
Hey, and he will too. Y'all don't want that smoke, man.
Absolutely.
Y'all don't. What are you
liking? What are you liking?
Tonight I've only got a couple I like. We were looking more at the slate for tomorrow there. Tonight I do like that Villanova money line at home against Marquette, +105 right there.
I was just listening to someone talk about how Villanova's been so disappointing this year.
They have been, but they played better the last 3 or 4 games here. Got that upset over UConn the other night. BMAC, I will say this, and BMAC has been on fire too, man. He had that 9-0 parlay the other day. So BMAC likes Marquette minus the 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And we also we're gonna be we're betting Sparty tonight, man.
Well, obviously
against Michigan, we're gonna take them +3.5, and we're gonna take them on the money line +136.
I want to ask you something, and I'm not. It's not dogging the picks at all. This is just a betting strategy, so it's nothing against the person that put these picks out.
Okay.
And you guys should all go to sportspicks.locals.com and get those picks.
Okay.
Robert is 8-0 in his last 8 college basketball picks.
I said that I told him that just a little bit ago.
Yeah. 8-0. He gave out 3 picks for tomorrow. I'm not going to say what they are, but he gave out 3 picks to clients today over at sportspicks.locals.com. You want to know what those are? Go look at them. I'm thinking.
I gave him a free one.
Okay. I'm thinking we just go Oppo all 3. What are the odds he goes 11-0? You know what I mean? It's just the law of averages. I think I'm just going to fade it.
I 100% that you have to look at stuff like that, y'all. You do. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who the person is.
Yeah.
Nobody out there has a magic crystal ball. And when you see people go on crazy runs, usually a lot of those people out there, Uncle Bob will tell you straight up, and it's all time stamped. You can go look and check the picks and all that stuff. A lot of people tell you they're on crazy runs. When I see people on crazy runs like that, I usually do tend to want to go the other way because I know the law of averages, it's supposed to turn around.
I mean, he does go on these crazy runs like this, and then they'll slow down at some point. That's right, capping the capper. That's right, Blue.
That's totally. I'll tell you, a lot of y'all in here, I take a lot of what y'all say and stuff. I know when y'all are on good runs. I even I'll look at BMAC like that's why I'm kind of like I don't completely hate my Villanova pick tonight because he's been on such a tear. Like you do to drop one, bro.
Yeah. No, I was just looking. I'm not saying I'm gonna. I'm just saying it's crossed my mind when I saw the picks come by. I was like, huh.
I'll tell you what I am doing tonight. We talked about it this morning. I'm taking the Wizards.
Yes.
Straight up, bro. This is the spot, dude. This is the spot where we take Giannis to do something crazy like triple-double or something, and the Wizards will win on the money line. Take Giannis.
I don't think Giannis is playing.
No, they got him listed right now.
Oh, okay. Because he wouldn't play last night, and because that line is where it's at, makes me think
Dame's not playing. It doesn't look like.
Okay, I was gonna say someone has to be out because there's no way. Like if they were, I know Portis got suspended. We talked about it this morning, but like if Dame and Giannis were playing, this line has to be 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Has to.
At least you would think. At least. And we talk about how the Wizards have won 33% of their games all season in the last 10 games. They've been covering some spots they weren't supposed to. I mean, they've been getting a lot of big numbers, but right here in this line, it even went down. I was looking at it 6.5, and it went down to 6. So I think I'm going probably a unit on the 6 and a unit on the money line.
I also want, hold on. I want to check something out too, real quick.
Go ahead, pull up whatever you need, man.
It's gonna be different because there's some light like in the morning. But I was wondering if you can't tell because it's light outside. Damn it! I'll have to do it in the morning. I want to see what this looks like. Like when it's all dark in here, if me turning off that light helps with that. And I was thinking about maybe getting some backlighting behind me, some like colored backlights or something like that.
I'm not gonna do it for here because I know we're planning on selling the house and moving. We got to upsize, man. We got to have more room. And but the next time I get in there, I'm definitely gonna work. That's gonna be one of my big things is fixing the lighting and stuff.
I got this light right here, and then obviously I was seeing if that helps with that at all or whatnot. But I was gonna play around with the lighting a little bit. Just it makes a difference, it does. You don't think it does until you do it, and you're like, oh,
it really well. I know you always hear me talk about this. You're probably tired of it, but when I watch Y-Files, man, you watch some of his first episodes, and he'll even talk about it when he comes back. He's like, "Look, the lighting's terrible in this. I'm sorry." And then you can see, I see that. I'm like, "Oh shit, man! It does make a big difference."
Mm-hmm. God, I didn't realize how bad that the reflection is on from the in Yeah, you have to really stare at it, but
we never see it in the morning. It ain't there yet.
Way too early.
What are you liking tonight in the NBA while you're here, man? You're the NBA savant. We got some of this stuff. I still
started looking at it this morning, but I haven't really. Let me look back at it. We forgot to ran out of time somehow this morning. Something's fishy with that Cavs line.
Why? Why do you think so, man? Blue likes the Cavs -8.5.
Because the way that they're playing right now, and in the terrible spot for the Knicks, I don't think that even with the terrible spot for the Knicks, I don't think the line should be -8.
Okay. They're both on a back-to-back, too.
Yeah, but the Cavs are like home and home, right?
Let me double check.
I think the Cavs played it. No, the Cavs might have been in Chicago last night.
No, the Cavs were in Brooklyn last night. The Knicks were at home against the Bulls.
So the travel is the same.
Basically the same, yeah. They're both traveling.
It's just it's a home arena, but still, that makes me 8 feels like too much. But then I see sharp action on the Cavs and 69% of the money on the Knicks makes me think maybe 8's right.
Blue likes it. Blue likes it. I think I'm gonna ride with you on that one, Blue. I've been looking at the over, but it's scared because it's doing that same thing. It was 239.5 this morning, then it went up to 241.5. But now it's gone back down to 240.5. It's kind of what that Pacers Grizzly line did last night, so it's got me scared on that over.
Then again, these are professionals, and like maybe coming off the break, they just needed a warm up game.
That's
I was listening to a story about what made me think about that is I was listening to a story about the Dream Team. Apparently, it's a documentary, but someone was just summarizing a part of it.
It's a good one, dude. It's a good one. You should watch it.
And it was one where the coach deliberately had the like the college kid team that normally would have gone, but they let NBA players go. So the NBA, whoever the scout team that was a bunch of college kids. Granted, all those guys ended up becoming really good NBA players, right? So they weren't just scrubs,
right?
But they had a scrimmage, and the first scrimmage, he deliberately tanked the game so the dream team would lose. Like he sat Jordan after like the first series. He didn't call timeouts when he was supposed to call timeouts. He just let his guys get worked. And then at the end of the reporters in there, he shut off the scoreboard so they wouldn't let him know. But the players in them, they knew who was winning. And so at a point when the scout team was up and won, he called it. He said, "Okay, that's it. We're done. That's the scrimmage for today." And the scout team won and the dream team lost technically. Yes. And it's a fire up under their ass because the next day they came back because they were scrimmaging again.
And they let them score a point.
Jordan went up to one of the guys that was just on fire from three. I can't remember what his name was the day before. And he goes, "You ain't going to get that ball above your shoulders." And the guy didn't attempt to three the whole scrimmage, and they just shellacked him by 50.
People forget that Jordan was the defensive player of the year, like, 6 or 7 times?
Dude, yeah, he's not just the greatest of all time. He's one of the best defenders of all time.
Literally, bro. That's what makes him that's the separator right there.
Yeah.
Does LeBron have any defensive player of the year awards?
I think back in his younger days.
He may back then. I'm asking seriously. Like, I don't know.
LeBron, I think he does. He was. I mean, LeBron back when he was younger and cared to like try every play.
I'll tell you this.
He was really good. Plus, I mean, he has all those. Remember in his younger days? I mean, obviously you'll remember in that Warriors game or the finals when he blocked that Iguodala shot, right?
Yeah.
Remember back when he was younger, he used to chase people down and slap the ball against the backboard.
Slap it all the way back to half court off the backboard.
Back when he was with the Heat. Remember that? He'd do that all the time.
I'll tell you this. I can promise you this. 40-year-old LeBron waxes 40-year-old Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. It was hard to watch Jordan play for the Wizards. It's fun to watch LeBron play for the Lakers.
But it's a different time. I feel like if Jordan was in this era and he was seeing LeBron doing what LeBron was doing, I think Jordan would have taken better care of himself and
maybe a little more seriously. That's the thing. LeBron
would have been more because he was always so competitive. He would have been like, no.
LeBron also didn't take 2 years off to play baseball.
Yeah,
and stuff. So I mean, I think you're right. You're probably right there.
Yeah, I just thought it was a crazy. So I don't know. Like these Cavs, both the Cavs and Knicks ended up not shooting well last night. But like I said, these are professionals, so maybe that lights a fire up on their ass and they come out and shoot. I don't know. We'll see.
Blue drops a good stat here, man. He says the Knicks are 0-5 on back-to-backs against teams above 500. So, good little stat. So, we'll see there. I think I might want to ride with you on that Cavs play right there. The Cavs still a good team, man. I keep putting a warm on my slip. I'm going to take the Wizards, too. What do you think? I was looking at this Rockets-Timberwolves matchup. It's gone down a half point, too. I like the T-Wolves, dude. I think the T-Wolves about to get hot.
I think so.
I do. I really do. This team went to the Western Conference Finals last year. You got Anthony Edwards, who I do think is a mega superstar in the league and a guy that could take over games. I'm telling you, man, I think the T-Wolves about to go on a little run.
Roids do help. That's true. Roids do help. Imagine if Jordan was on roids or TRT
or
anything.
True, man. It's true. It's true. I wish we had time machines where we could watch them play each other in their primes. I promise y'all, nobody wants that more than me.
Mm-hmm.
It'd make the NBA worth watching.
The Warriors-Kings matchup is interesting. I don't know if I trust the Warriors yet, but also the Kings should be better than they are playing at least. But it's always tough after coming out of these breaks. What time off will do?
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah,
I'd look towards the Kings because the Warriors had more players that were distracted over the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him at the beginning. I was like, NHL and NBA, we're gonna have to kind of be careful for the next week. And I've got a plethora of plays I already like. I know I'm gonna bet too many, but we kind of got to see how these teams settle back in. I think in the NHL, and while we're here, last thing NBA, I like the over in the Thunder Jazz game, but I do want to go to the NHL because I want to talk to you about something and see what you think on this. I think we look, obviously, all those guys that just played are all the best players in the world. They're all the best player on their respective teams. I think we look to fade some of those teams, which most of those teams are the better teams in the league. I think we're looking to fade some of those teams coming out of this tournament.
How do you fade them? Those guys we're talking about, that game was more important than the most important game in their life. Is some of those guys won a Stanley Cup. So it's like, but imagine having to back one of those teams after they just played in the Stanley Cup.
And you know what's crazy? We actually, that's what I'm saying. Like like I'm not saying they're not going to gear back up and their teams are going to be back who they were in a week or so. I'm just saying for these first couple of games after they've exhausted all that energy and effort, and that was not just coasting around All-Star Week hockey. Them boys was hitting out there, bro.
That was emotional. It was there was a lot. It was a long week for them. Of what they play, 4 games, right? Four games.
Yeah, four games, yeah, against all the best of the best.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be. Yeah, I think you're right. Fade them.
And you know what's crazy, dude? I noticed this earlier. So we had last night, obviously in the matchup, the netminders. We had Jordan Bennington against Connor Hellebuck. Well, tomorrow we have Jordan Bennington against Connor Hellebuck in the Blues.
I want to bet the over.
I am. I'm telling you, bro. It's at 5.5. I'm going over 6.5 because here's the thing. Even if those guys play, I think they're kind of worn out. I think you're going to have a lot of these fresh legs and stuff like that. I do think there's going to be goals scored. But then what if they set one of them just to let them rest? It's like, right now it's at 5.5 minus 130. I went up to 6.5. I'm taking over 6.5 plus 110 in that one.
Sure. I would too, yeah. Because I mean, especially that Canadian goalie, if he plays, he just had one of the best matches, games of his life, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Rocking a high.
It would make sense for you not.
And it wasn't like he wasn't working. He had 33 shots on him.
No, I mean, the dude played phenomenal. But I'm just saying, like the focus both those guys had to put in the last week because they were all 3 playing. I feel like it would be natural for them not to be as sharp.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that one, man. And I'm looking at a team like the Capitol. I think the Capitol is just better than the Penguins anyway. But you had Crosby, who was out there balls to the wall. Evgeny Malkin he didn't play in the Four Nations because he couldn't because Russia. But at the same time, he was banged up right before the All-Star break. So you got their top 2 guys, probably a little winded. I think the Capitals come out and thump their ass tomorrow. I like the minus 1.5 in that one. I'm fading the Avalanche.
I'll take a look at some of these tonight, too.
Yeah, I'm fading the Avalanche because they had half their damn team playing in that thing.
Oh, that's smart.
I feel like, straight up, I don't even care if they're playing the terrible-ass Predators. I think you're playing at home. You got to travel. You've been traveling. You've all been playing. So I'm like, hell, it would make perfect sense for those guys to be a little worn out and drop it. And that line's way off. That should not be that low for these two teams playing each other. The Avalanche are a much better squad.
Absolutely. Anyways, I have to step out.
Go, man. Go do your thing, bro. I'm going to finish this up. We're going to wrap this up in the next few minutes anyway.
Okay. Good seeing you, buddy. And I'll see you in the morning. I'm excited. It's going to be a good stream tomorrow. I got some things planned for us. So, boom.
That's right. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, too. So cool.
Oh, Beam McCormick says Bam over 17.5 points. Get it, son.
That's right, baby.
All right. Later, guys.
Right. Be good, buddy. All right, y'all. Since we're here now, we're going to go ahead and hop in. We'll talk some more of this NHL. We'll just start at the top here and give y'all a couple thoughts. We see first game tomorrow at 12:40 p.m. Eastern time. A little early pucking off here at the Wild at the Red Wings. Red Wings minus 1.5 at home, plus 225. Minus 112 on the money line for Detroit. Minus 108 money line for the Minnesota Wild. Total 5.5 in that one. Minus 120 the over. Even money to the under. Oh, no problem, Blue. No problem, Blue. I love getting here, hang out with y'all, man. Feeling pretty good today. Glad to have some action back, some stuff to actually talk about. It was hard for me the last week, man. There wasn't a whole lot going on. It was rough. Hard in the yard, man. That Red Wings Wild game, I'm just going to kind of leave alone. I need to monitor those teams for a little bit. 2 teams I like a lot, but I need to see how they are coming out. They didn't have, I know Joel Eriksson Ek played in that thing for the Wild. I'd have to look at, I know Lucas Raymond played for the Red Wings, Dylan Larkin. So some of those guys they have been playing in this Four Nations tournament, but I need to kind of see what those are going to be. You're still Wild, still waiting to get Kirill Kaprizov back. And so they're still just kind of monitor those 2 teams for a little bit. But I do like both those teams. There may be somebody we jump on here in the next couple of weeks. Oilers at the Flyers right there. You got Oilers had some guys playing in that thing. Obviously, most notably, Connor McDavid scored the winner. A lot of high emotion stuff there. That may be another one you can look at. I can't really trust that Flyers team. I don't have a lot of faith in them. I know they're right around the cusp there fighting for a playoff spot, but I don't have a lot of faith in that team, man. I really don't. And plus 164s on the money line have not voted well lately in the NHL from what I've been tracking. So I don't know. That's another one I decided to stay away from because I don't know how ready the Oilers will be to go. I do like the Capitals, like I said, for Sidney Crosby's he had a good tournament, played very, very well for Canada, even at the ripe old age of 37. That guy is still killing it. I like Sidney Crosby, I'm telling you. But if Evgeny Malkin was banged up before the All-Star break, don't know his status coming back into this one, if he'll be back just yet. But either way, you probably ease him into it, I'd say. And with the top two guys, in my opinion, on that team, they're probably maybe not as crisp as they normally would be. And the Capitals are a very good squad, and their studs, most of them were not playing the Four Nations tournament. Like Ovechkin, he couldn't play because Team Russia wasn't in it. So you got those guys that should be rested up, primed, ready to go. I like the Capitals -1.5 plus 154 right there. Oh, B-Mac, you dropped a bunch of stuff in here, man. Let me drop all these for the folks. See what you like. B-Mac says Jordan Poole over 3.5 3-pointers. Anthony Edwards over 3.5 threes. Zach LaVine over 2.5 threes. Desmond Bane over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Bam over 17.5 points. DeMar DeRozan over 7.5 assists and rebounds. Then Thunder team total over 124.5. I like that one too. I'm on the over in that game, man. Got a highlight bet that's straight winner, Crick. Lay it on me, man. Bring me a highlight winner in here. I love them highlight winners. And which one were you talking about there, Blue? When you said, does that help the under the over? You talking about the matchup with the Blues and the Jets tomorrow? I really think it's going to trend over either way, man. I do. Like I said, I would expect both those guys to kind of, it would make sense for them to be a little off with what they've had to put into the last week and how much goes into all that stuff. I know they're pros and I know they're both great. And, the Oilers game? I'm not sure on that one, man. I really, that's a team I'm just going to have to watch. Over 6.5 plus 110 right there. You know, you figure there could be some rust factor for some of these guys, even if they've been resting. I'm sure they've been out there on the ice together. They're pros. They've been practicing and doing all that stuff. So I'm just watching that one to monitor, man. I really don't have an opinion in that one, Blue. But yeah, back down to the Jets and the Blues, man. I'm taking the over in that game because even if they wind up playing both the top net minders, I do think they'll be a little off. And if they wind up sitting those guys, give them a little break till the early next week, then obviously now you've got backup netminders in there, and the total probably winds up going up to 6.5, and it's -110 both ways. You can get over 6.5 right now at +110, so I'll just take the value there. Okay, Douglas and Julin 2-1, and then Douglas money line. Douglas money line over who's he playing? Manu, and then Bueno and Rock 2-1 in their match. So Bueno and Rock are due, man. Bueno and Rock are due. So I'm on something similar to that, man. I have to look back at my parlay and see what I put it in this morning on the morning show. I gave it to y'all there. Y'all can go back and look at that if you want to. In the highlight video, I gave you what I'm on tonight there. Let's look at some of these other ones. You got the Rangers at the Sabres. Sabres +1.5 at home, -258, -102 on the money line, -118 for New York. New York is -1.5, +210 on the road. Total is 6.5, +102 to the over. Don't have very much of an opinion in that one either. JT Miller was playing in this thing, going back to the Rangers there. Panarin, Artemi Panarin was not playing. Zibanejad played. Chris Kreider played. Kreider really looking at New York. New York's probably one of those teams that had some guys play, but should be good to go. Kreider played, but he really was used limited. I don't know why, because every time the guy got on the damn ice, they were creating scoring chances. But he really didn't get a whole lot of work. And so he should be fine. Zibanejad, he played quite a bit of minutes, but that guy's a trooper. JT Miller was, he had his adventures in there, got in a fight the other night and everything. I like JT Miller, man. I'm a big fan. And then you got Igor Shesterkin in the pipe. I think it's time we're probably going to look at the Rangers to pick it up a little bit right here. I think second half of the season, you will see this Rangers team play much better than you did in the first half. All right, Blue Man, go get you some rest, man. Go get you some rest. I'm almost done. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Like I said, we'll be able to look at these again tomorrow after these lines, but I just want to give you all the early thoughts in case, you get a better number right now. Kraken Panthers. Don't know. I'm sure we're going to be on the over 1.5 first period in that one. Buku loves those. I am going to take the Predators on the money line plus 114 over the Avalanche. Just because I think a bunch of those Avalanche guys are going to be tired. They've all been damn playing in that Four Nations thing. Stars at the Devils. I have to ask Patriot on that one, man. I have to ask Patriot on that one. That's two pretty good teams, two playoff caliber teams. Yes, sir, Blue. No problem, brother. Ducks at the Bruins. Boston should have a lot of guys rested too. Charlie McAvoy. I don't know. You have to see about his status. I know I'd say they're probably going to have him shut down for a little bit. That man was in the hospital for 2 or 3 days this week. He did get out yesterday in time to give a speech to the team before the game last night and stuff, but I'm sure they're not rushing him back. I say he got a couple more days. That does affect that back defensive line and stuff for them. So Boston, Anaheim, scrappy bunch. Don't know on that one. We'll have to watch that one. We'll ask Buku on that one for sure. Like I said, I'm going to take the over in that Jets-Blues game, little rematch of netminders from the championship game last night with Bennington and Hellebuck, or maybe not, maybe backups. And if it's backups, I like the over even more. Blackhawks, Blue Jackets. I'm going to take this over 6.5. I think this is going to wind up going to minus 105 for the over 6.5. I'm taking that for the value right now. And it feels like a spot where both these teams should be pretty well rested in this thing. I do think they will come out firing. Look at the Canadians, the Senators, man. I'm really kind of fading the Senators in this spot. Look at it was plus 154 earlier, I believe. He's gone down plus 150. But I'm just looking at their leader in Brady Tkachuk. That guy exhausted a lot of energy this week, too. Actually got banged up in that game the other day against Sweden and didn't play a whole lot, had to leave that thing. So maybe he's still a little sore. Take him. He's a hockey player. He's going to be out there playing. He's still going to be Brady Tkachuk. But, just thinking maybe that could be another team that takes a game or two to get back in sync. They were playing well before the break, but I think it could take them a little bit to adjust back. And Montreal is a team here that should be pretty rested going into this. But, okay, Capitals consensus set. Let's go. Oh, there's Buku. Cracking money line all over the Panthers, he says. Okay, man's getting bold with it. I get you a little plus 200, man. That ain't bad at all. A little 2-to-1 on your money. But yeah, I'm looking at the Habs tomorrow night, man, just because I feel like they're going to be a pretty rested squad. And I do feel like the Senators may have a little rust on them just because their leader was out there doing all the damn things for America this week. I like Brady Tkachuk, man. I became big fans of Brothers Tkachuk this past week. Hurricanes at the Maple Leafs. It's another one where you had several guys playing for the Maple Leafs. William Nylander playing for Finland. Then you have, was it Finland, Sweden? Hell, I can't keep up with who played for. Anyway, Nylander was playing. Then you had Austin Matthews playing. You got their top dogs all out there. Been playing a lot this past week. Feel like it could be a spot. And the Hurricanes is a good squad. They had some guys out there too, but Hurricanes is a good squad right here. And I just feel like Austin Matthews had to sit out that game the other night against Sweden. So maybe banged up a little bit right there. Probably could have just been some precautionary stuff and everything. But I like Hurricanes this spot. I'm actually going to take them. Y'all know I don't like laying the getting above minus 115. So the minus 122 is probably what I should be taking. It's probably going to be a 1-goal game either way. But I think I see a little value there on the Hurricanes, minus 1.5 plus 210. That's going to be one I am going to watch the line on that one. It's not until 7:10 tomorrow night. So I am going to watch the line a little bit on that one. Utah Hockey Club at the LA Kings. Do not have an opinion on that one right now. And then the Golden Knights home against my Canucks, man. I do like the Golden Knights at home right here. Minus 1.5 plus 154. I do like this spot for the Golden Knights right here. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm still going to watch some of these lines throughout today. Like I said, I'm not going to put Crick's picks out today because not a big slate tonight, but I will have all my different numbers and stuff figured out, all the stats and results and all that stuff for y'all tomorrow. And I'll have a big post typed up because I can already tell with all the different things going on tomorrow now that everything is back in action. I will have a big card tomorrow. So let me run down for y'all real quick what I'm on tonight so you can, if you want to tell or fade or whatever you want to do on those. But in college basketball, I like Villanova money line plus 105 at home against Marquette. That is a 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off. And then I like Sparty, Buku's Michigan State Spartans plus 3.5 at Michigan tonight. That is an 8 p.m. Eastern tip-off. I will have a unit on Sparty plus 3.5 and a unit on them on the money line plus 136. And then in the NBA is the only other thing we got going on tonight. I wish Patriot was in here, man. Maybe there's some college baseball that he liked. I know he gave something out this morning, but I can't remember what it was. The NBA tonight, I'm going to ride with you, Blue.
It won't let me click it in there right now, but I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to take Cavaliers minus 8.5 at home against the Knicks. And then I'm going to take the Wizards plus 6 at home against the Bucks. That'll make you throw up in your mouth a little bit to take that one. I'm also going to go ahead and roll. It's up to y'all. Use at your discretion up to a unit. No higher than that, but up to a unit on the plus 190 on the Wizards money line tonight. And then I'm going to also take the over 235.5 in the Thunder and Jazz game. And I've decided it just now, y'all. I'm taking the plus 130 money line for the Timberwolves at the Rockets. So that's what I got tonight, folks. That's what I got tonight. We got some highlight action going. You got the free Spark It contest. The links to all that stuff's in the descriptions below. You can go check those out. Sign up for free, man. They give away top 20 spots. Gets a free $20 gift card to the World Highlight Store. They got some cool stuff in there, man. Go over there, sign up, do that thing for free, and you start to get a kind of a feel of how to bet this stuff. But that is at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight is when that match gets rolling. I believe we got, is it Warriors Cyclones tonight, I believe is happening. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we got happening this evening, y'all. Like I said, everything will be cranked back up tomorrow. I appreciate y'all coming in here, hanging out with me today. Will jumped in here. We had all y'all popping off in the chat. You know I appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to try to grind a few units back tonight, and then we'll get geared up for hopefully a real big day tomorrow with that massive slate. All the hockey's back, man. It's exciting time, man. We're on the second half. Second half of the All-Star breaks. Now is when everything gets cranked up. Starts to mean a little something, something. So we're excited about that, man. But you and your beautiful family, stay safe out there. Good luck in all of your wagers this evening. We'll be back bright and early in the morning for your Sports Morning Espresso Shot at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. But until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on.